What's going on, everybody? So, masculine fragrances, stuff that really screams man's man. Now look, full disclosure, anybody can wear anything. I know several women that really like the masculine heavy scents, but I've got 5 that I've chosen, and I brought along my buddy John Murrell to pick 5 of his own that when we smell these, it's a man's fragrance. I just can't imagine a lady wearing these. So stay tuned.
Hello, my friends. I am John Murrell from John Murrell Fragrance Review, and I'm excited because I've been watching TLTG reviews forever. It's one of the reasons I got into fragrance reviewing. So I'm excited because I want to thank Ross. He's invited me to do 10, okay? But we're each going to do 5, Ross and I, okay? But 10 scents made for a man's man. And I am excited about this. Now, my disclaimer, anyone can wear anything. We know this. But to me, these are the most masculine fragrances in my collection. And so to me, they are made for a man's man. So here, let's get right to it. And yeah, this is going to be fun for me. You know, it was a little tough. I always say anyone can wear anything, and I believe that's true, of course. But my wife made it tough. She came in as I was picking these fragrances, and she's like, I don't even like that on you. I'm like, yeah, no, I know. You don't like those type of scents on me. And she was picking things like tobacco vanille. And I said, that's a unisex scent. And she said, yeah, but it's more masculine. So I'm going manly man, not sort of masculine. To me, these are fragrances that I cannot imagine smelling on a woman. All right. So number 1 on that list for me, in no particular order, but number 1 on the list of manly man scents, I have polo green. Old school, but this is very masculine, very manly, right? So and it's the pine needles that do it, I think. This is one of the most unique scents. I mean, when you smell this, you know what it is. It's not like, this is one of the most unique scents, unique fragrances ever created. You always know it's polo green. Okay, always. So it has pine needle. Well, the top notes are basil, tarragon, but middle notes, pine, tobacco, leather. It's the pine that really gives that uniqueness, but then the base notes are oak moss, patchouli. I never got a lot of patchouli on this, but I think it probably rounds it out, right? But it's the pine, the tobacco, the leather, the oak moss. It really comes together as a super masculine scent. So to me, that's my number 1 manly man scent.
Excellent choice on polo green. That's one I would have chosen as well had you not picked it. My first pick is going to be one that kind of reminds you, it's kind of in the same vein, if you will, of a polo green. It's an old school scent profile, refined and raised in quality. I'm talking about Creed Viking, the original Creed Viking. So when I say an old school scent profile, it kind of resembles the scent profile of Old Spice, classic men's aftershave. Spicy, aromatic, just a touch of sweetness, herbal, aromatic, a little bit of bright citrus, but not making it a super freshy in any way, shape, or form. This is one that I kind of hold in high regard. It's not a real in-your-face fragrance. It's definitely for the not-so-loud man's man. It's definitely a very masculine scent without being, just like I said, too in your face, but it's one that surprisingly lasts a long time on my skin. This is a 2018 bottle. I don't remember the exact batch code. I'm not going to look that up right now. But it's one that goes well after a nice clean shave. You're dressed accordingly, as I am, or, you know, sports jacket, whatever, daily work scent type of thing, or just a signature scent kind of thing for the guys that you would deem the most manly around you and in your life. This is the kind of scent profile I think back to my grandfather and so on. Real old school guys. And I'm not saying it smells dated. I feel like it's a more modern take on that older style scent profile, the Old Spice style scent profile. And one that, like I said, I hold in high regard. I think it smells great. And it's definitely a man's type of scent profile.
Second on the list is something that I've been talking a little bit about recently, but again, it's a fragrance my wife doesn't enjoy on me. I call this my poker night scent. This is a scent I wear to poker night because it is a manly scent, and it smells like, I'll tell you right now, it smells like a walk-in humidor in a cigar shop. So, and I think that's a very masculine scent. So I'm talking about Havana by Aramis. And that is, again, another, it does have tobacco, but of course, but this is more fresh tobacco leaf. This one is more fresh tobacco leaf, which is why it gives that kind of humidor, you know, because the cigars have that hopefully freshly rolled cigar. And so it does have on the top mandarin orange. I don't get a lot of that. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It does keep it a little bright, and that's something I like. So it's something that I think is a year-round fragrance, but it is very masculine. So it does keep it bright with the mandarin orange, but the tobacco, the cinnamon, the fir, the carnation, base notes, patchouli, oak moss, vetiver, and sandalwood, and it is a super, super masculine fragrance. Like I said, basically what I'm saying, when you walk into a humidor, if you smoke cigars, and I do, when you walk into a humidor, this is what you smell. Havana by Aramis. So that is a very, very manly scent, and I only wear it to poker night. I wear it to poker night because my wife does not enjoy it on me. So that is the second one.
When we came up with this video idea, this was one of the first fragrances that popped in my head. I have to put this Aramis fragrance in as my pick, and I am talking about Aramis Tobacco Reserve. I believe it is discontinued at this stage. I do have this 3.7. I do have a 60 ml as well. I'm good on sprays forever, but this is an herbal green leaf, kind of dry tobacco. You know, has a nice sweet undertone, but it's not overly sweet. It's still very green leaf, herbaceous, and dry up top. I do like that about it. I think it's quite masculine. Tobacco lovers will either love or hate this because it's not your typical moist, juicy, sweet, boozy type of tobacco. There's a lot of sweet tobaccos out there, don't get me wrong, but because the way it's a green leaf tobacco, it's an actual leaf tobacco type of smell that's much more herbal than your more mainstream tobacco scents. Even from a niche standpoint, they're mostly mainstream tobacco scents that you hear about. This is more in your face than the previous fragrance that I talked about. This is a statement maker. It's kind of a unique tobacco scent, and it just screams man's man. This is burly beard. This is, you know, pocketed Oxford, jeans every day, wearing boots, whether it's cowboy boots or steel toe work boots. That's who's wearing this fragrance 9 times out of 10. That's what I think of. That's the guy I think of when I smell this fragrance. Definitely super masculine, and in my opinion, made for a man's man. That's Aramis Tobacco Reserve.
The next one is something that everybody here knows I love. Everybody here. I don't think it's a secret. I really don't, which is John Varvatos Dark Rebel. I love this scent. It's in my Hall of Fame. I've said this over and over again, but you know, it's in my Hall of Fame. The performance on it isn't stellar, but it's not bad. I mean, John Varvatos gets killed for not having well-performing fragrances, but I think this is one of the better ones in the performance category. But this has sugar. Let me just say, this is a pirate scent. It really is. It has a strong leather feel, tobacco, obviously tobacco, but it has sugar, and that sweetens it up, and it has rum. So the sugar, the rum, the tobacco, the leather, this is one of my all-time greats and is very masculine, and I absolutely adore it. So is it masculine to say adore? What do you think, Ross? Well, anyway, I adore it. So that's the third fragrance on my list.
I had to go with one of my favorite barbershop style / leather fragrances in my collection that is as in your face and masculine as they come. It's Happy Land Studios Barbershop. This is my favorite barbershop smelling fragrance, if not close second type of thing off the top of my head. It's definitely one of the best smelling barbershop fragrances I've ever put my nose on. Strike Gold Shave did a collaboration with Happy Land with this fragrance oil and made a shave set. It is my favorite shave set in my collection. I love shaving with that soap and aftershave splash more so than any other shave. And I have many, many, many shave sets, shave soaps and aftershave splashes. It's my go-to when in doubt. It's my dumb reach when I shave, if you will. This oil's that good. Bright, but dense, orange, aromatic, spicy, little soapy, not overly aromatic soapy, and a lot of smooth leather. This is gorgeous. I urge you people, get a sample. You can always just get a sample from Happy Land, or you can get a sample pack, or you can get your hands on a bottle. But this is a must try if you like barbershop style fragrances, or you like leather fragrances. Longevity, stellar, all day and then some. Super, I don't know the exact oil concentration, but I know it is an extrait parfum concentration. EJ does fantastic work. Like I said, sample worthy if nothing else, if you like that style of fragrance. This is as manly as they come. EJ has a lot of very masculine scents, Homeland and such. He even did a flanker for me of Homeland about a year and a half ago called Man Shit. That is now Homeland Extreme. That's extremely masculine as well, but I feel like for wearability and screams man's man, I think this is the man's fragrance from Happy Land Studio, and one of the best as far as the barbershop genre. Happy Land Studios Barbershop.
What's next? So how about one that everybody knows? How about one that I'm guessing might be, I don't know, maybe it's not, but I would assume this is on almost everybody's manly man sense, and it is the original Fahrenheit EDT. Fahrenheit EDT, it has that, right in the beginning, it has that petrol kind of vibe, you know, when you first spray it on. And I always think that's because I do believe that leather and citrus create that kind of petrol note. And now it goes away as the fragrance goes on, but it is strong when you first put it on. But there's a lot of notes in this fragrance. I'm not going to go through all of them. Everyone knows this fragrance. It's old school again, but it does have that petrol vibe starting out. But then it does dry down, and you get that, you know, you do get that amber, the leather, the vetiver, especially for me at least. And I always get a little bit of that nutmeg. To me, it's a very interesting scent because to me, I do get a lot of that nutmeg on the dry down. But in the beginning, boy, does it have that. You know, I picture someone, I have to tell you, this is so manly. This is such a manly scent to me. It really is. That I picture, I'm always doing that. I picture someone in those coveralls at a gas station wearing this fragrance. That's so, you know, with grease all over their hands, you know. So there you go. That is my fourth manly man fragrance.
My next pick is one that I hold in such high regard. Shame on me. I don't even wear it that often. It's a very special occasion type of scent. When I know I'm going to wear a blazer or a sports jacket, it's one of the top two choices for me. This and one other fragrance. Very, very high quality, super masculine and spicy. It is Raja Parfum's Scandal Parfum Cologne. One of my favorite fragrances in my collection. Like I said, this and one other fragrance are the first ones I think of when I'm going to wear a blazer or a sports jacket. It's just that good. Old school type of complexity where there's a ton of notes. It's hard to really pick a lot of things out. Accords are the easier way to go. You're going to get some citruses, but you get a lot of spice and herbs throughout the whole life. I get tons of spice and herbs. Very warm and fresh spicy at the same time. Very green, extremely woody, and most importantly, super duper old school masculine. Just quality dialed up to 11. It's a Raja Parfums fragrance. It is my favorite in the Parfum Cologne collection, more so than Elysium, even though I wear Danger more, which is kind of a fresher scent profile similar to this. Even though I wear Danger more, I still like this one the most. It's more situational for me. It can be a daily driver for you if you like those crazy masculine man's type of scents, which this absolutely is. Obviously much more expensive than any designer fragrance. These are in the close to $300 range at retail, but it's definitely sample worthy. If you're looking for quality masculinity, not too many really do it better, or at the very least do it the same as Scandal Parfum Cologne from Raja Parfums. This is my opinion, obviously. But like I said, I like it so much that shame on me, I hold it for certain events and certain occasions because I feel like this is that scent you really show out with. Definitely a man's man scent profile is Raja Parfum Scandal Parfum Cologne.
The last one. The last one is a newer fragrance, something that I really like. I wear it to work, and I can't picture I did say when I did a review of these fragrances that this was the most masculine of the bunch. I stand by that, and I do think it is. And I'm talking about business over pleasure. Did you know I was going to do that, Ross? Did you have any idea? I don't think you did. But business over pleasure is a very masculine fragrance, in my opinion. Again, I always say people can wear anything. People can wear anything. But to me, that with the pepper, the coriander, the top notes are, the bergamot. But to me, the iris, it gives it a little bit, tiny bit of that old school barbershop vibe, but just a little for me. This is a creamy fragrance, but I do think it's very masculine. The dry down, where it dries down to the musk. I always feel like musk fragrances, especially when musk and amber are put together, to me, always give a very, very masculine vibe. So to me, this is a very manly man fragrance. And I just can't picture a woman walking into the room smelling like business over pleasure. I could be wrong, but to me, business over pleasure by Zaharoff and TLTG is a very manly man fragrance. So there are my 5 scents made for a man's man. And again, thanks Ross so much for this. This was awesome. I had a great time. This is a great idea, and I really appreciate it. And way out.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see that coming. I appreciate that, John. I'm glad. Over the moon glad. And happy that you like business over pleasure that much, my friend. That really means a lot. Seriously, you didn't have to put that on here. I do appreciate that. I'm glad you're digging it. I really am. And it's crazy that you do that, because this was a no-brainer for me. I mean, a lot of the people watching this video, you're expecting to see this fragrance because it's a extremely masculine man's man type of scent. And it's one of my favorites. It always has been. Call me biased. Say what you want. Try it for yourself. But Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. This is that other fragrance I was talking about when I was talking about Scandal. The 2 fragrances I think of when I'm going to wear a blazer or a sports jacket, or in this case, a suit. This is the first fragrance I think of when I want to wear a suit and tie, because this is boss level type of stuff. This is man's man. This is important man's man type of stuff. Has that barbershop vibe with the lavender up top, but definitely gets much more warm, resinous, and spicy. There's a little bit of herbs in here. There's an iris that I don't get much of, but it's all about the myrrh, the warmth of the oud, the creaminess of the sandalwood. It's very warming on my skin. This stuff just smells so well put together, so all-worldly masculine, that I had to put it in this. Every time I do a masculine fragrances video, this has to be in there, especially one where we're talking stuff that makes you think of a man's man. This is the kind of stuff a man's man is going to wear. Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. A lot of you expected me to pick this, and for good reason, because it's that fragrance, and it's definitely my last pick. Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. Well, that was fun. I like the creative idea. John, I appreciate you jumping on the channel. For those of you not familiar with John, I will have his channel linked below. He's got that radio voice, as you can see. That he's a cool cat. He's got really good taste, some good insight. Go check out his content. Make sure to give him a subscribe if you like what you see. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe on this video. And let me know down in the comments, what are some of the most masculine scents that really scream man's man to you in your collection, or stuff that you used to have, or just scent memory type of stuff. Love to read that kind of stuff. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 10 that we featured here today and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking us later. Have a good one, guys.